Hi, I'm just coming because I wanted to share a thought that came to mind post finishing that first Bible study video. It was just a very quick thought about names and spirit again. So spirit lives in the extended, right? The extension, the expansion, and goddess energy lives, and goddess energy lives in that as well. And God is straight to the point, and it makes me think of, I think of God, and I think of one, and then I think of the magician, all the same. I think of these like very powerful punching energies, easy to pick up on. I think of it as the same as the way that people from certain cultures have learned to shorten their names, myself included. I don't really go by Zanala. I go by Zan a lot of the time, right? Very quick and punchy. The same way our names are a little bit more complicated to pronounce, complicated in a beautiful way, but just more complicated to pronounce versus John versus Sally versus, something more, straight to the point. It is mimicking different expressions of divine energy, and those names are more godly, more godlike, and our names are more goddess like, more spiritual, more complex, more extended. And it's like the same way of, you want to say God, you don't want to say goddess. You don't want to put the work in to say the lengthened name, the extension. You want to see the sun. You don't want to see all of the light. You just want to see the source. God is like looking at the source, but you're not seeing what the source is coming from, what the source is as a whole, what the source is as one, what space the source is filling. There's always something else. And that's what spirit is, that always something else. But we like to just look at the God. But we're coming into a time where we're seeing spirit more, because we're understanding that everything is one, which means everything is a community. Because for you to be one, you also have to be made up of multiple. You know what I mean? Because within one is the potential of many, which is that expression of multitudes. Within one is everything. Within God is spirit, which is goddess energy, which is everything, which is source. It's like, it's just reverts right back into itself. It's so incredible. It's so incredible. But I just had that thought as I was thinking about the names, goddess versus God, and what we consider more powerful. But you don't need to, if you can't pronounce goddess, if you don't want to say goddess, that doesn't erase goddess from existing. That doesn't erase spirit, the Holy Spirit, the spiritual, from existing. Goddess is within that. Goddess is within God. God is within goddess. You know what I mean? But we just cut off the S, which you could consider the sixth. You could consider the sex. You could consider that energy, the surrounding, the spiritual, the snake. You can consider that energy, that's just everything, the source of it all. So you don't acknowledge that. It's like not acknowledging the context. It's like not seeing the ancestor, but it doesn't mean they don't exist. You're just not looking. And they don't really require you to look in order to be powerful. Goddess energy will be powerful regardless, but if you don't look, you can't really understand or use or be a part of that in a way that would really benefit you. So it's kind of your loss, if you don't want to. Which is the same thing when you don't put in the effort to learn somebody's name because you think it's too complicated. Or the same thing we do to ourselves where we cut ourselves down, we minimize our own potential by not using our real names, not using our full names. Or the way you cut out somebody else's potential by not acknowledging the names that they've chosen for themselves, not acknowledging the way that they see themselves. We should really, naming is so important. I guess it's just that the overall message. Naming is very important. We should not take it for granted. But yeah, that was just a quick thought that came to mind because I was watching the video I just recorded, which will be up hopefully before this video so it can provide the context. Or maybe I should just do a little time travel and you'll just get this video before you get the Bible study video, and then you'll have to watch the Bible study video to understand the context to this, but you can still understand this without the Bible study video, but you'll be missing so much, which is just another expression of what Spirit is explaining about themselves. You can understand me by understanding God, but if you only want to understand me through God, you'll be missing an incredible relationship with me on my own spectrum that, is beyond that and will lead you to so much more. And God can help you too, and God can lead you there too, but God is not goddess, And that doesn't mean there's anything wrong with God. God's just not goddess, but God is. But from a very specific understanding. And that's that understanding. That's that frequency. That's that vibration. Goddess has another vibration in the many expressions that goddess is. You see what I mean? It's just like, it's just choosing to engage with that energy and finding that it is valuable and worthy, and that you are worthy of engaging with it. When you cut yourself off from knowledge, it's because you don't feel like you deserve it. I've been Spirit speaks to me through feathers and little hairs in the air, and those feathery hair balls that go through the wind, those wispy things. I want to call them a willow. Spirit speaks to me through those. They've just been all over, but I just saw little white hair just breezing through and just made me think that's Spirit, but tying everything together all the time, everywhere, all the time. So when you just engage with your environment, you're engaging with Spirit. Just be present in your life and you'll speak to Spirit. You have such a unique and beautiful relationship with Spirit already, just through existence. But don't shut yourself off from living. Don't shut yourself off from existence. That's how you shut yourself off from Spirit. And Spirit wants to know you so badly. And then there's God, and that's that same, it's all energy that feeds into itself. So I was thinking about the magician, and I was thinking about 11, and I was thinking about 111. And it's interesting, because in that sense, I do see 111 as Spirit, which is also 3, which is the Empress, and I see 1111 as the Emperor and as God. But 1111 is one more one than 111, and so there's that extended, but in that extension it's masculine. So isn't that interesting? But it's also the legs could be considered masculine, because then the way through is the portal energy, which is more feminine. And so you could consider those sticks or those doors, doorways, a physical door could be considered masculine energy versus the energy on both sides and the act of moving through, because even that in-between space could be considered feminine. But the physical door, which blocks off a space, that could be considered masculine. But think about how important doors are. If you had nothing to divide space, you wouldn't want that. You want to have boundaries. Boundaries are important. It's the same thing as the firmament that I was speaking about. Okay, so what am I going to do? What order am I going to post this? Because there's a line on the first page of the Bible in Genesis, the book of Genesis, the creation story. It talks about the firmament and those being divisions. And I talked about division, but I can't remember what I was saying exactly. But I talked about division energy. But again, I'm just talking about the ways that Spirit and God are one, and feminine and masculine are one, but also each other, but also expressions and mirrors, but also individuals, and just all these things. And it's just the same mirror of an expression of what it is to be alive, what it is to be human. And the Bible is just telling our own stories, right? But it's just about the way you understand it. And it's good to share the way that you understand it, because then you're giving a perspective that we would like to add to the Bible. The Bible is all of our perspectives, all of our understandings, all of our interpretations. And we can use it as a jump-off base, but really anything you share is the Bible. That is the truth, which is so funny why the Kardashians say, Bible. It makes me think of that. Yeah, anything you say is the truth, swear, confirm, word, the past, ancestry. Ancestry is confirmation, because they said the morning and the evening were the third day. It is the confirmation. You are this, you were this, which means you are this. To be something in the past is to be it now. Because your past doesn't disappear, it becomes a part of you in a different way. Transmutation and ancestry and death and rebirth and all those things, all those elements and energies. But anyways, I'm speaking all of this in being informed by what I had spoken about in that video that I had recorded. So yeah, you're just gonna need to watch that video if you want to understand more of what I'm speaking about right now. But like I said, you could take either one. It kind of is up to you, or you could take both. But what the sacrifice would be time and energy and a willingness to listen to me. So if that's worth it to you, then you have both. If only one is worth it to you, that's okay too. It's whatever vibes with what's going on in your life. So anyways, yeah, I guess I'll just post this one too. I don't know what time I'll post it. It's so funny that it started counting at 9%. You can consider that countdown or counting, like beginning, a new beginning, a timed beginning. And there's 1111. And we talk about how life force energy and light energy can be masculine, but it can also be feminine. But in this sense, I do consider it masculine. But if you consider it a countdown energy, then I would consider it feminine in terms of like pregnancy. But anyways, that's it. So bye. Good night. And yeah, good night.